G'day, it's AJ, and welcome to the 10 Degree Shift, a show that's all about how people have made tiny little shifts in their life, their leadership, their businesses that have had a big impact on their world. You know, most high-performing leaders think that having a clarity of objectives, pushing their team hard, working long hours, and pushing themselves is the only way to succeed, when actually this is quite an outdated approach. In fact, it usually leads to burnout, disengagement, and just all around no fun. So in this podcast, we're going to dive deep with different people every week to explore how can you take care of yourself and take care of others? How can you find a way to have a juicy, awesome life, as well as having some balance and success on your terms? So my mission is always to empower humans across the planet to make these small, sustainable shifts in a way that helps them live longer, easier, and healthier. So let's dive right in. Today, I have a very special guest, and I think I always say they're very special, but this is a special person, and they have recently just visited me in the Valley of Joy. So I've got to be in person with this person. And that is the one and only Nosh Darby. Hello, Nosh. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
I should say, shouldn't I? How do I pronounce that correctly?
Darbari.
Dabari. Do you know I always just call you Nosh or Noshi, and I never
That's
really.
it.
I haven't said the whole official full name before.
That's okay. That's totally fine. Most people call me Noshi, or most people call me Noshi Knows because that's my Instagram and Facebook handle.
Yeah. So Noshi knows Nosh, however you want to say it.
Yeah. And
So
I don't know much about it at all because Noshi doesn't know a lot of things, but Noshi does know a few bargains living in the UK. I had to look for bargains. We all do. Us Australians, when we go to the UK for a working holiday visa, it is tough, but it was a magical ride. So that's where Noshi Knows comes from.
well, there you go. So Nosh is an internationally experienced tech product leader. He's an instructional designer. He's a facilitator. I think he's a curious person in that he's curious about life. He's passionate about learning more. I met Nosh during the pandemic when I was speaking at a conference, he was attending, and we were both watching, listening, other speakers. And I saw Nosh interacting with all of the participants and the speakers. And I really kind of felt like I got to know him through that process. And then later, when my colleague Michelle and I ran our Superhuman Summit, Nosh jumped on board and was super supportive of that. He also had great ideas for production and how we could make it even better. So he's a really effective communicator. He is someone who lives and breathes that mix of emotional intelligence, spirituality, and business know-how. And I think he always looks to add value to people's lives. Why I invited Nosh on the podcast today, though, is that he is also one of our 10 Degree Shift coaches. And that's because Nosh has participated in the 10 Degree Shift program a couple of times and since done some coach training to get on board to support others. So Nosh, welcome back into my living room, which you've already been in. It's lovely to have you join me.
Thank you so much. That is a brilliant introduction. I have goosebumps. Thank you. I am delighted to know you and get to know you even better. I was meeting you in person, but the level of connection just is deeper and I have more respect for you. And thank you for making me and the others laugh, making us wiser through your optimisms. And if you haven't visited the Valley of Joy, I highly recommend you treat yourself to a retreat because that place is magical in caps. It is magical. Happy to share some photographs or happy for you to get in touch with me and ask me questions because I have been there, I have experienced it, and I have no vested interest in promoting the place except for the fact that I enjoyed it thoroughly soaked in the energies, and boy, oh boy, there are trees and there's so much nature, which is very different. I've never experienced a rainforest this beautiful and calming and relaxing. So that's a shout out to your Valley of Joy. I love it. Absolutely. I can't wait to be back. I can't wait to be back.
Thank you. Thanks, Nosh.
Pleasure.
So let's start at the beginning as far as when you first joined the 10-degree shift program. What was it that you kind of thought you might want to focus on? And then what did you actually find you learned through the process, or what came about for you through the process of 10-degree shift?
Sure. Yeah, I think the 10-degree shift program is a very simple, and it's like you eat your own, it's a degustation, but you eat your own, pick your own food kind of stuff. So pick your own things. And when I looked at the 10-degree shift, I want to call your artwork the wheel of the shifts. I'm sure you've got a very fancy name for it. I'm sorry, but I'm calling it just a wheel, but it is a wheel to me because you've got different spokes with all sorts of different shifts that you can make. And I thought to myself, look, I need to take some action steps. I've reached a stage in my life wherein I know things, but I need more knowledge. And I don't want someone shoving it down, pardon me for using that term, but literally shoving it down my throat or telling me what to do. I just want someone a bit gentler, a bit calmer, understand my needs, make it a bit more personalized or tailored for me, not just like, hey, this is a program, do it on your own pace, or we can do the weekly calls. It wasn't that. AJ fully supported me throughout. You fully supported me throughout the program. And I was very interested in the plant-powered week because food, I know one thing, it's you've got to look after your body is the only house that you'll permanently live in on this planet. And if you don't look after that body, your body won't look after you. And in Australia, I grew up 24 years in Bombay. So I was born and raised in Bombay until 24. Then I moved here as by myself, rather. My family is still very much in India. But I noticed that Australia has so much processed food, and as years went by, not only the price of chicken, but the size of the chicken just grew exponentially to the fact that I'm looking at it and I'm going like, I don't know what's in this chicken. What am I eating? And I've got to look after myself because I'm here by myself. So I don't have a mum or a sister or anyone to look after me. And I had heard horror stories about the hospitals and the negligence and all of that. And that really tweaked me to kind of go like, step by step, I want to sort of gravitate. Notice I didn't use the word turn, but gravitate towards vegetarianism because I also started my own spiritual journey in India, learning Reiki and other tools like meditation. And if you think you can't meditate, hello, you're looking at someone or listening to someone who loves to do 15 things at one time, but could never finish 3. So multitasking is a fallacy. Don't do it. It's detrimental for your brain. And no matter what they tell you, maybe you can drive and talk or drive and listen to music or a book if that's your thing, but don't do it. I've since then I've been on my own spiritual journey, and I've realized that with the Plant Powered Week, I used to be fully supported by AJ, wherein I went like, I'd go into the supermarket sometimes and I would send a picture to her of the ingredients at the back, and I'll be like, AJ, this just looks like a shitstorm in the name of health food. Sorry to use that word, AJ. I didn't realize that. But hey, it is a terminology that most people will understand. But
Yeah.
there was a lot of synthetic chemicals. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't want anything out of a package. I do not want anything out of a box. like no cereal, none of that, because all I'm looking at is sugar, 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 sugar everywhere, and salt everywhere. And I'm going like, I feel lethargic. I feel not quite right um, in my gut. And it was always one of those things. So sorry, I've kind of gone a bit too long with this answer, but I think that's what I felt. It's an easy program, so easy that I did one after the other back to back because I wanted to focus on more shifts. The first time I focused on a couple, then I thought I could do this another time and I could basically correct, well, course correct is the right way of some other things. And there's still juice in that program. And like AJ, when you said um, the living a juicy life on your unsuccessful life on your own terms, I think all of us have got to that stage where we're sick of the 9 to 5. We've either got a hyper stressed job, a job that does not match your description or what you're hired for, but that's okay because growth happens in the most uncomfortable zones. But coming back to the 10-degree shift program, it does take all the facets in your life, not just your work, not just plant power, because you've heard me talk about it for the last 5 minutes, but it's just such an easy program and you can pick and choose. That is the beauty of it. And
you're picking up on a couple of things there that lots of the members have said to me. And it's things like they might come back a second time because the first time it's only one or two of the shifts that they really dig into. And
yeah,
they can't kind of keep on track for all of them because it's too much. And that's the whole idea, is to just give you some basic building blocks that then you can continue to do it in your own life. People get lifetime access. So, my desire is to help people get healthy and healed and well, whatever that looks like. And everyone's schedule is going to be different. I also love what you said about growing up, I think, in India, and that
yeah,
concept of here in Australia there being so much processed food. And I think a lot of the Western world, that's what we're suffering from today. America, there are so many statistics, wow, my goodness, that show that as more packaged foods are introduced, that the level of disease and the level of hospitalization continues to go up as well. And
yeah,
now what we're seeing is, sadly, third world countries and other countries that are adopting a Western eating pattern, and now
yes.
also, for the first time ever, having diabetes pandemics as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. And not to sound judgmental at all, but my observation is people are getting larger and larger. Sadly, um, it's it's very sad to see that because it's just bad eating habits, and marketing and supermarkets will do everything to sell a product, even the health food aisle. If you don't pick up and read the ingredients or Google it, it's just so easy. We think that, oh, low fat is low fat or low sugar is low sugar, but actually that low sugar is all I call it the ols, which is the OLs, the maltitols, the sorbitols. And AJ was the one, you were the one, AJ, who told me that all the ols are actually sugar. And then I'm going to let in a little secret. I didn't fully believe you because I had to, the curiosity, as you called it, took the best out of me. And I'm Googling that. And no shit, Sherlock. It was just pretty much all the sugars that you can see. There's processed cornstarch and whatnot. Whereas in India, I didn't eat all this. We don't have allergies there the way people have allergies here. And it's stunning that just for me to hear that, oh, little Noah, 3 years old, has X, Y, and Z as an allergy and can't eat eggs, can't eat milk, and all of that. And I had a little milk thing that we were speaking about. Like I don't eat any dairy, and I mean I hardly eat any dairy. In my coffee, I'll do oat or almond because apparently soy is also bleached in Australia. And for men, lots of soy milk is not great anyway. So Yeah, it's one of those things where I go, it was just easy. I also found an interesting shift for me was move more. And I work in technology, so most of the times we're pretty sedentary.
Mhm.
The minute, so I have I have a confession. I will dance. It's not a confession. I love dancing. So if you want to see some dance videos, connect with me on Facebook. You might see them. But if I'm not feeling great, I will just put on my favorite music and dance. And it's the movement. I didn't realize this until I was told that movement is energy in motion, or emotion is energy in motion. And when you move more, you shift that energy. And touch wood, I have never, I'm 39, and touch wood, I've never taken antidepressants or any of that kind of medication. And you can just imagine, anyone listening to this call can imagine what it's like for a young 24-year-old with a burning desire to succeed, also coming from a developing country like India, lived in Bombay, the fastest city in India, possibly even faster than New York, I was told by some. But anyway, to give you context, you can just imagine the ups and downs, the roller coaster rides that I have gone through, be it personal, professional, or being um, dismissed from um, a job wrongly because my employer didn't understand the visa conditions and made me work. And it was like, no, and they were wrong. I had not breached any visa conditions or anything of that sort. But you can just about imagine the roller coaster ride that I had been. But in India, we don't have counseling. It's not there in our fabric. So we're taught how to deal. We just have the ability to, okay, this has happened. Let's move on. I won't go into detail, but I had a setback today and I discussed that and I've moved on. It's fine. It's okay. Things happen. This is life. You can't be happy all the time. But yeah,
Super
here.
fascinating, because really a lot of the 10 degree shift program is based on on a whole heap of research, but one piece of research in particular is the research on the blue zones. And the reason that's incorporated is it is a study of the people who are the healthiest around the world. So it looks at the cities that have the highest proportion of centenarians, people living over 100 and living really well.
Yeah.
And most of those, they don't have counseling or those kind of things either, because they usually have a moiety, which is a group that they're born into, a community group. They tend to have, like we talk about in 10 degree shift, a clear purpose, whether that purpose is their job, a community thing, or giving back to their grandchildren and their children. But they really have this network of community. They walk to get their veggies at a market every day. So they're moving as well. They're eating fresh plant-powered foods. And in general, it makes for a healthy, well life, which is kind of what you grew up with. So
Yeah.
we want to go in the Western world. I think we've been told a fallacy. You know, the food industry has really done us bad. The government has allowed that. The pharmaceutical industry is not taking care of us. And really what this program is putting the power back in your hands and not saying you need to do anything flash other than the really simple things in life. The basic building blocks of good water, good nutrition, good air through breath, meditation, community, connecting with others, support, having some kind of purpose and finding your way through that. So I love that Move More and Plant Powered resonated for you. I'm curious now that you're about to start your journey as a coach in the program. What
Yes.
do you say yes to that and want to continue to be involved?
Sure. Um, I think when you truly believe in something, you want to spread the knowledge because in my spiritual journey and before my spiritual journey as well, I am a natural I can't see someone helpless. On the other hand, I won't let anyone take me for granted or walk over me. But I have experienced helplessness, and I don't want anyone else to experience that. And knowledge is powerful. Um, what do they say? I can't remember the saying, but coming back to why I said yes to coaching was I wanted to help people that just need that extra push. And what a better way to get that push from someone who's actually done the shifts, has understood the challenges, and it's not just you, the maker of the program, the designer of the program, saying, move more, do this, do that. It's like, not that you would say, do this, do that in that fashion at all, but what a better way if I can support and give back the community from what I've got, because life is not just about take, 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 it's give and take. And there is a reason why people who give get tenfold back. And if you can teach something, you learn a lot. And I can share a recent example of that. My niece, who's in India, is going through year five. Yeah, she's going through year five.
Yeah.
And my sister is basically putting her in all competitive mathematical examinations and all that. And growing up, I used to hate maths, but I would love a good shortcut. So I can multiply two digits mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a trick for that. And I shared that with my niece, and her face was like, oh my God, uncle, I can deal with your bad jokes, but this is next level. I'm so happy. And just that look on her face, and knowing that I could teach some of my learnings after about 3 decades, maybe. I'm 39. So yeah, if I get my maths correct this time, yeah. If not three, two, definitely 2.5 decades. But my point is, to answer your question, I wanted to become a coach because I feel I have that emotional awareness that's needed to guide someone as well. Of course, I need to develop it. It's not the end all, but also to mainly to help someone through their journey. And also that little bit genuine, come on, you can do it. It's not that hard. It's Everyone needs it. You can be Tony Robbins or Bill Gates or Obama. They all are human at the end of the day. We all need that little genuine push. Genuine is the word, that authentic push. And I guess there's a reason why I have got 2 ears and one mouth, even though that may not make sense right now in this setting because I'm talking a lot more. But there's a reason for that, and I'm a good listener, is what most of my friends would say about me. And they're very comfortable. Like, you've seen me interact with people in Wollongong. I didn't know them, but I was just genuinely friendly. And the second day that we went to the coffee place, they were like, hey, come in, like, oh, you're back, and all of that. It's just how you make the person feel. And if you are genuine, people will remember you. So that's why I joined the coaches program.
And I think everyone who goes through the program says that the community and the tribe vibe and having support from each other is what's most valuable. Some people say more than anything else, it was just having this people to journey with and having pretty deep conversations pretty quick. But the value of the coaching is really that having some accountability. And we can all do with some accountability. I know for myself in my business, I can go maybe 6 months without a coach, and then I start to notice that I'm getting a bit wobbly and I'm spinning too many plates. And so I usually hire myself a coach again to support me to get that back on track. And I know right now I'm working with a coach in LA, which is really about leveraging my business and honing in on what's important, and it's really valuable to me. So in the 10-degree shift, we have a great community. We have lots of fun together. It's a super supportive space. Nosh has been through it twice now, and I'm sure each time you go through, you tend to find that there's a different focus, there's something else that can support you. So thank you so much for sharing some of your journey and history and just energy for how you come to where you are. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if anyone is interested in finding out more about the 10-degree shift, you can just go to my website, alexandrajoy.com.au. And there's lots of information there about the 10-degree shift. Looking forward to seeing you continue to support others and loving the concept of the community having some growth, because you're spot on and right. It's not about me and my journey. It was the same thing. I experienced burnout and adrenal fatigue and a whole heap of different diagnoses, and knew I had to do something to turn my life around. And so the program's built on research, but also experience of myself and others, and what it takes to get back on track without flogging yourself. So this is not like other programs that are hard to do and hard to commit to. This is meant to be easy. You get to choose your easy. You just need to have some focus, and what better way than to have support from amazing people like Nosh.
Thank you. Indeed. And look, it is doable. And dare I say this myself, because I've done it twice now. And one, like, I think you told me, are you sure you want to do it another time straight away? And I'm like, yes, I do. Because as I said, I call it micro baby steps and not even baby steps, because that's all you need to take. And every round you've got lifetime access. So seriously, like, you can't go wrong with that. Like, even if life happens or something, you'd get better value if you focused and were committed for the entire duration of the program, of course. But we understand life happens, and pick your own easy, as you call it, and just run with it is what I did. And as soon as I started, actually, sorry, AJ, if I can say one thing about plant power, the difference I felt in my life was I could work more, my endurance level or time increased. I was more clear in my thinking, and my digestion was great. I also renovate houses, so I could actually power through some power tools as well, which was fascinating, because I'd only heard some of my friends go, I'm vegan and I've got so much energy and I'm going like, la 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 again. And I'm going like, I have to try. It got to a stage where I'm going to just try this, because, as you say, the curiosity in me just got the best out of me. And I'm not vegan, but definitely when I eat now, my body craves for green vegetables, green leafy vegetables. Like, I can literally survive on broccoli and a piece of steamed fish, or broccoli and potatoes, or a salad with legumes, or like chickpeas. And it's so easy to do that. It's so easy. Like, it's literally just throw what's in your pantry together and make something up. It's that simple. There are stacks of resources that we provide within the community, and you're right. You have access to a beautiful community of like-minded people, and it's that community that's really valuable, because where else would you find genuine connections? I was talking to someone the other day, and this person is in their later stages of their life, and they were missing out that connection. And I said, well, you've got to do the 10-degree shift program, because you would add so much value from your professional knowledge, but also you will get so much value, because I am certain with your knowledge, people will want to know more about you, and have that you'll regain your purpose in life, because it's just amazing in terms of, and they're all, I find it's quite interesting. You know, I was in Wollongby, and the comments on Facebook were just so beautiful because they're like, I'm sorry, I can't meet you. I would love to have met you. And these are people that I've only interacted in the course. And I thought, like, oh my God, my cup is filled with positivity and love. And if you're looking for something like that, I highly recommend try it out. What have you got to lose is what I say. But if you don't try it out, there'll always be that regret, and probably don't live life with regrets. So thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's really wonderful.
So thank you so much, Nosh. And yeah, it really is kind of, it feels like life's work to me. You know, I make my own money through property and through corporate work that I do. So 10 Degree Shift is not there to be making me millions. It's very reasonably priced. And as I said, you come in and you get lifetime value, and you get coached by one of our amazing coaches, just like Nosh. So thank you again. It is an evergreen program. You can join at any time. We do kind of little blitzes of it now and then, so you can journey with others. But if you're looking to raise your consciousness, you want to become more aware of how you're living, you want to recalibrate your life and your health and regenerate and rejuvenate from the inside out, then this is the program for you. I love being part of the community. I loved having you come and share the value with me recently, and I look forward to seeing our little community continue to grow and prosper, and hopefully spread the word to transform and change the way people view living a good life. Much love
Indeed.
to us.
Lots of love and gratitude.